Hey everyone, and welcome to the Anime Lounge podcast. We are just getting back from the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie, and I cannot wait to get your reaction, Lance, because I'm like jumping in my seat right now.
Huh.
This will have spoilers, so keep that in mind. If you want to keep listening, please do. But if not, go watch the movie because it's worth it.
Yeah, right. We'll talk maybe a minute tops of non-spoiler content, but then we're going to jump right into what we liked about this movie, just in a quick generic kind of form until we, do this in a long form in a later episode.
Absolutely. Uh, let's get it out of the way. Lance, what'd you think?
Right off the bat, Demon Slayer is obviously known for how beautiful the animation is, and this movie blew expectations. Like this, there was moments where I felt that the animation was like on par with almost reality. There was some scenes that were like we were looking at trees, and if you just focused in on those trees and the leaves, they looked super duper realistic. And then we got to like another shot of Gyoko, or not Gyoko, the Hashira with the number one Hashira, and then he was off in the distance, and you can tell like he was obviously an animated character. It's like, oh, you got an animated character in the background, but the scenery is so perfectly, beautifully animated. Like it's almost hard to tell what's real and what's not.
Yeah, you could easily think you're wearing like 3D glasses. That's how vivid it was. It was absolutely insane. I will say, as I said earlier, you just go watch it. You have to. It's so good because of all the anime fans. We get opportunities like this to go watch these movies for UFO Table to spend. I couldn't even imagine probably like $1 billion on this movie, and it was worth it. You can so clearly see how much time and effort it took to make this movie, and I am so glad we watched it. That's all I can say. I'm just so glad we watched it because it was that good.
Yeah, and back to some animation talk. This wasn't like kind of what Demon Slayer has kind of done in the past to a small degree, where you have like still motion animated scenes where like, yeah, the animation's super beautiful, but movements aren't happening. This movie definitely puts that into the ground because you see everybody moving all the time. You got 360-degree angles. The camera's moving at all times, which makes this movie just unbelievable. And the action scenes, when you see people swinging their sword, throwing punches. Like it's not swift cut scenes. It's motion by motion. You're getting every little bit of information, and every fight scene was just top tier. And that's what really sets Demon Slayer apart from a lot of anime just in general. I mean, obviously a lot of anime does a great job with fight scenes, but to the degree that Demon Slayer is doing it right now, holy crap.
Yeah, they
Just
definitely
absolutely.
set a standard in this movie. The I know exactly what you're talking about. Where sometimes like the water moves, they would use the swishing of the water to animate, but not necessarily the moving of the sword. That wasn't the case in this one,
Not at all.
or Tanjiro swinging his sword and doing any of his fire moves. Nope, sword moving and fire. So absolutely fantastic. They definitely stepped their game up when it came to this movie. I'd say let's get into some spoilers. So if anybody is not looking forward to spoilers, please just give us a like and let us know what you think after you go watch this movie. But Lance, there were three main fights that happened in this movie. Which one, without going into too much detail, which one was your favorite?
Yeah, it's almost hard to really choose a real difference because all three battles were fantastic.
Yep.
But I almost kind of want to lean towards Zenitsu versus his old rival, you can say, with under Jisam,
Yep.
Kaigaku. And what really caught my attention was they repurposed the sixth position, the sixth moon, with this Kaigaku guy.
Yep.
And really what stole my attention was we're getting a shit ton of more information about like thunder breathing.
Yep.
We up until this moment, all we've seen was Anitsu's first form, which is, God tier. It's absolutely amazing. But everybody's always asking themselves, well, what about like second form, third form, and beyond? And we got that in this movie. And I was so excited to see that. And then on top of that, Zenitsu made his own, what was it, seventh form?
Yep.
So even it's going above and beyond. I mean, I guess that it's easy for the animator to just sit there and stack up 1, 2, 3, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 forms, and then just magically gives Zenitsu a seventh form. But like just to have his rival make a comment that he just straight up made his own form in that kind of way, it just made it so much more special, and it drew me in there. The electric ability is one of my favorite things. I don't think that gets enough attention in broader anime, so I'm really happy to see it come in such bright lights in this anime.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a very good fight. And I kind of agree with you. It's hard to choose between the three. So the seventh form is in the manga, so it's not like they just made him a seventh form and was like, "All right, here you go." No, that actually
Well,
does happen
no, yeah,
in the
I'm not
manga.
trying to say it that way. I'm just trying to say like the mangaka obviously had to come up with the next couple stages, and he's obviously just making up as he goes, and he just so happened to give the final one a special tag for Zenitsu.
Yeah, I definitely got watery, emotional more than one time, and this was one of them. And
Mhm.
just what happens at the end. Yeah, definitely bring some tissues if you're easily emotional. You can put it that way.
Oh yeah.
I guess for me, I am going to pick the Shinobu versus Doma fight. As I've been saying, basically since the movie or since the first season, Shinobu's been my favorite Hashira, and you kind of see why. In this fight, you get just so much information, and you really get emotional attachment to Shinobu, which for anybody who doesn't remember, that is the poison Hashira. And yeah, that's another one where I got emotional at it without spoiling what actually does happen in this fight. Whew, yeah, it is just I think that was the first fight scene that really put it on the map, like, oh yeah, this is different. This movie is going to be completely different from everything we've seen so far.
Exactly. And we saw her pull out so many techniques that we never saw in the prior seasons. Uh, she had, yeah, without going in further detail about her moves, like just seeing her use her techniques and just in general, it was just in awe. The animation was beautiful behind every single attack, and every one of them was perfectly fitting to this specific battle. Like it was just all around a great battle. And Doma is just the character for her to fight when it comes to her poison techniques, because man, it's not just I'm gonna poison you and you're dead. It's I'm gonna poison you and I'm gonna tell you like it's just not good enough.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You definitely understand why people like and dislike Doma. We can put it that way.
For sure.
The last, just to kind of give it out there, the last main fight that happens is you and Tanjiro versus Akaza. So he is the number 3 Upper Moon. Oh man, so many emotions.
Yeah.
So
This fight alone basically took up like at least half of the entire movie. It
yeah, I
felt
would
like
say the fighting itself was probably an hour, and then the extra bits was probably about 30 minutes. It was almost half the movie, I would say.
oh for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, we got Akasa's backstory, lot of detail. Holy crap. I
Oh,
was very surprised on how in depth they gave Akasa's backstory.
I will say this is one of the reasons why you can kind of be like, I get it when it comes to the Hashira for the most part.
Oh,
And that's
sure.
what I like about Demon Slayer so much is that yes, you want the demons to die, but at the end you're like, oh man, sucks they had to die because I kind of understand why they did what they did.
Yeah, right. He had a real terrible bring up. he was doing the best he could, and then he got introduced to the demon blood, and
Yep.
everything flips from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I know there's stuff I want to talk about, but I'm going to save that for the podcast whenever this movie does finally come out, where everybody gets to watch it. We did end up watching it subbed. I'm just going to say it. The dub and the sub are fantastic. You can't go wrong either way.
Exactly. Yeah. I had zero problems watching it in Japanese because the voice actors are prime. Everybody did a fantastic job. I was emotionally invested. I was, just personally invested. So everything was just perfect.
Yeah. This is easily a 9.5 type of rating when it comes to the movie. 100%. Just, if you are a fan of anime, if you're a fan of Demon Slayer, go out and watch this so we get more opportunities to see these kinds of things. Studios will spend the even crazier amount of money to do stuff like this because it's so worth it. It's so good. The bass in all those fights, I know, Lance, that's like your big thing. I can't imagine. You were probably trying to jump out of your seat with all the excitement.
Oh, yeah. Every single action scene was just top tier. It was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just to compound a little bit about like just supporting stuff like this in the theaters, you and I went to this theater and they had run out of the special Hashira, or the sword, the popcorn and the soda combo.
Yep.
So like if the general public goes and supports this, maybe movie theaters will be more stocked with these kind of products, because you and I were definitely looking forward to them, and unfortunately we were cut short.
Yeah, don't be a terrible person and post it up on eBay. Enjoy it, or leave it for somebody who will, because it kind of just sucks if you're that person.
Exactly. But yeah, before we break this down even more, look forward to a more in-depth conversation when Matt and I cover this in the future for a full-length episode podcast. But clearly we are thrilled with this movie that came out, and unfortunately we got to wait like 2 more years until the next movie comes out. So the anime community is just going to sit there and suffer for a little bit, but that's okay, because if the next movie is on par or even a little better than this one, then I think we'll all be happy. So with all that being said, thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you guys next time.